So let's talk about 2025. In the high-stakes, super competitive world of high-performance computing, one company didn't just win, it absolutely dominated. We're about to break down the key numbers and the big strategic moves behind AMD's phenomenal, record-setting year.
You know, the tech industry is always moving at a breakneck pace, but 2025, that was something else entirely. Competition was just white hot, innovation was hitting the headlines every single day, and the global hunger for more computing power, especially for AI, was just off the charts.
And right in the middle of all that action, one company just completely broke away from the pack, posting numbers that made the entire market snap to attention. So, the big question we're going to tackle today is, how on earth did AMD pull off such a record-breaking performance?
All right, let's dive right into the headline figures. These are the big, flashy numbers that really set the stage for the sheer scale of AMD's success story in 2025. You're going to want to see this. First up, just look at this. In the final 3 months of 2025 alone, AMD pulled in a mind-boggling $10.3 billion in revenue. Just think about that. That's a massive, massive figure for a single quarter. But here's what's maybe even more impressive: the momentum. That $10.3 billion represents a 34% jump compared to the same time last year. That kind of growth at that scale is just staggering.
And this wasn't just about raking in cash, it was about being incredibly profitable. For the whole year, they hit a record $4.17 in non-GAAP earnings per share. Now, what that really means, in simple terms, is that the company's core business was just ruthlessly efficient at turning all that massive revenue into pure profit.
Okay, so you've seen the jaw-dropping numbers, but why did this happen? Where did all this explosive growth actually come from? Let's take a look under the hood at the primary engine that was powering this whole thing. Now, this is where the story gets really, really interesting. Take a look at the data center revenue. You can see it dips a little bit early in the year, and then it just explodes. The second half of 2025 shows this incredible acceleration, hitting almost $5.4 billion in the last quarter. This is the heart of the growth story, right here. And you don't have to take my word for it. AMD's own chair and CEO, the brilliant Dr. Lisa Su, pointed directly to this. She said it was all about the accelerating adoption of their high-performance chips, and, crucially, the massive scaling of their AI offerings for the data center.
But, you know, a truly great company can't just be a one-trick pony. While the data center was clearly the star of the show, AMD's success is also built on a really solid foundation of strength across its other big businesses, like PCs and gaming. And this chart lays it all out perfectly. Yeah, you can see data center is the king of the hill at $5.4 billion. But look over here, the client segment, that's their Ryzen PC processors, is still a huge contributor at $3.1 billion. And gaming is a really significant piece of the puzzle too. And get this, these other parts of the business aren't just sitting still, they're on fire. Client revenue is up almost 34%. Gaming revenue just skyrocketed by nearly 50%. This is what a healthy, diversified tech powerhouse looks like. So the growth is massive and it's coming from all over the place. But is it actually sustainable? This is where we do a real financial health check, digging into the key indicators that tell us if this company's foundation is truly built to last.
Let's kick things off with maybe one of the most important metrics of all: free cash flow. In the fourth quarter, AMD grew its free cash flow by an astounding 90.8% over the previous year. So why is this number such a huge deal?
Well, think of it this way. Free cash flow is the cold, hard cash a company has left over after paying all the bills and reinvesting in the business. A massive jump like this is a huge green flag for investors. It shows incredible profitability and efficiency. It's basically pure rocket fuel for the future.
And speaking of the future, check this out. This is pretty much the financial dream scenario. On one hand, their gross margin is up, which means they're making more profit on every single chip they sell. But at the very same time, they're pouring a ton more money, over 36% more, into research and development. They're getting more profitable while betting bigger on their own future. That is an incredibly powerful combination. All right, so they're rolling in cash, they're super profitable, so what's the next move? How is AMD using all this momentum from 2025 to build an even stronger position for the years to come?
Well, it looks like they are going all in on their biggest growth driver, AI, and they're not trying to do it alone. I mean, look at this list of partnerships. This isn't just a client list, it's a who's who of the tech world. From OpenAI and Oracle to AWS and even the US government,
AMD is embedding its technology deep into the future of the entire AI ecosystem. And it's not just us saying the momentum is strong. The company itself is putting a number on it. Their own forecast for the very next quarter is nearly $10 billion. They're basically signaling to the market that they don't see this incredible run slowing down anytime soon.
So, this all brings us back to the big final question. When you put it all together, the record profits, the massive war chest of cash, the huge investments in R&D, and all these strategic AI partnerships, are we actually watching AMD build a lead that its competitors might just find impossible to catch? Based on the numbers from 2025, that's the question on everyone's mind.